Yo, Chirico, how you doing, man? All right. More Chinese ganker build? Yeah. um, all right. Should be good now. But this time, we're gonna use Peeler. Same setup, but we're gonna try Peeler instead. Godskin Peeler, I mean. Okay. Oh, I can actually use Kiba though. Might try that later on. Maybe try Bandit as well. I mean, there's a few things that we can try. I'm actually interested. Guardian Sword Spear. This could be interesting. Yo, Luvio, how you doing, man? Okay, so there's a few options. Swift Spear could be interesting. Not sure that's really good, but... Okay, we're gonna start with that. Let's just see first of all. Let's compare the damage between the twin blades, just for comparison's sake. Actually, let's just compare the damage of like multiple of these just to see. Kind of curious. I want to get an AR comparison. Because Milady here at 510, this is very respectable. This here at 451, not so much. This one 520, that's very respectable. Ooh, like see there? This one, like Peeler is 520, this one is 438. This one is 456, so Peeler here, big difference with Peeler. Actually, this twin blade is strength. Okay, that makes sense. They're both strength. Great Cat at 618. That's very good. Naga Kiba at 500. That's not bad. This one 494 before, and then this one 599. Before I start, I just want to see if there's another curved sword that would have better scaling on decks for this purpose. Would be funny if it's like scimitar. I don't think so, but that would be funny. This one is definitely strength, there's no doubt. Okay, let's see if the AR. So 494 is the best we got. See 460, 452, 465, 415, 453, 473, 425. So Bandit's still better here. Bandit is the better curve sword for power stance. What about... There's the option of Scavenger Sword. Occult. Let's compare that. It's still worse. It's worse than Bandit. Look at that. Blood buildup, 76. And then 485. Whereas this one, blood buildup, 108. And then 494. So, Bleed Bandit Sword is like better in every way than Occult Scavenger Sword. On this setup, at least. Which is interesting, but it doesn't really surprise me all that much. A flowing curve sword? I thought you could not infuse that. Yeah, it's still worse. Like, way worse, even. Okay, so we're gonna start with Peeler. And then we're gonna see from there. I think Bleed Burst on innate bleed weapons is higher, though. Is it if you infuse them? Dude, that Peeler with that 132 bleed buildup is kind of nasty, man. Dude, that Peeler is gonna bleed people in one running. Like, I can tell because we were already bleeding people with Milady with like one jumping attack into a follow-up, which is 3 attacks. That Peeler is gonna do that with even more blood buildup. So this is gonna be like 1 bleed per running. I cannot wait to try that Peeler. Gonna put Seppuku there. And then for my Ash of War, for the other one, I'm gonna grab Spin Slash. And then these other ones, I'm gonna get rid of them. Like that. Okay, so for now, we're gonna try Peeler. We don't need to change the stats. We're a little too heavy, though. Little too heavy. What I'm gonna do is I will switch to Millicent Prosthesis, lower my dex, and up my endurance. That's what we're gonna do here. Just optimize this a little bit more.
Is it time? Nah.
So same idea, you know. Technically, we're gonna go with this right there.
Ah, my
It's a little bit better stat spread, all things considered. A little bit more balanced. Alright guys, let's do this. Alright, let's try this out. Let's equip this here. So this peeler should be doing a lot of damage. And we should be bleeding in one running attack. Technically. Actually wondering if... oh, okay, no, I can't do that. Do I have something that weighs 6 units? 6.5. Let's just try something really quickly. Okay, no, that doesn't work. Because I was wondering... because if we could have used Favor instead of Greyjar Arsenal, maybe we could have lowered our Vigor a little bit and up our Endurance just to be able to use Favor instead, and maybe we would have gotten a little more out of the build. Let's see the damage on this guy. Oh, we only hit him twice. Interesting. That was not the effect I wanted. I was expecting the bleed build up to be much quicker. He got bled in 4. Hey, what's up, Kaiser? How you doing, man? The guy got bled in 4. I was expecting him getting bled in 3. Chinese peeler? Yes. Bro, this host is ignoring me. Let me... Bro. What the fuck? That was so weird. Oh my god. He's dead. Bro, the lag and the terrain though, like... That terrain... Look at this. It's so inconsistent. Like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. That's nasty. What do I think about the new Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC? Well, I was very excited about Dragon's Dogma 2 before, before it came out. And I ended up not buying it. Not for any particular reason other than I was just too busy and I didn't have time to play it. And so I just held off on my purchase. And also the fact that it had like some kernel anti-cheat and like some DRM. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not about single player games with DRM. Fuck that shit. So I decided to hold off on it. And then I saw the DLC was announced like last Nintendo event, but I have not really looked into it since I don't really own the game. You know, having a DRM and an anti-cheat on a competitive multiplayer game is one thing. Having that on single player game is completely backward. There they are. What's up, Cos? How you doing, man? I think before we buff, let's see where they are. Okay, there they are. Let's buff up. Focus on the dragon. Dude, the dragon bleeds so easily. He gave up. Oh man, you gotta love one-shotting someone for 1700 with one running. That's great. Wouldn't Gargoyle Twin Blade be better? Actually, I thought so too, but it's really not, and by a long shot. There's like 100 AR difference between Gargoyle Twin Blade and this one. And also, you know, like, this particular Twin Blade hits 3 times with the running attack. I prefer the other Twin Blade moveset, but when it comes to status build-up, I mean, obviously, 3 attacks is going to be better than 2 attacks. But I mean, this is extremely nasty. I mean, the fact that you get, like, a bleed and, like, 1700 damage out of that, you know, like, it's one thing, right? Like, it's one thing to have, like, that sort of damage and build up on one player, but, like, you just transfer that to another player. Like, even if they don't die in 1 hit, that means they're gonna die in 2 hits. That's pretty good still. Isn't it 4 attacks? I think it's 3 attacks. Come on, you dumb game. Well, the right build for the situation. Classic Elden Ring BS? Yeah, for real though. So yeah, basically, if we hit 2 running attacks clean, I think it's GG. And depending on the situation, maybe just 1 running attack is GG. Yeah, when we tried the Black Steel Twin Blade, I was really impressed with what it could do. Pivot. Well, well, well. We got them twice in a row now. Crazy. Pretty terrible spot, too. I think, though, in a situation like that, I think the Milady is better. I think Milady is better because it's easier to go for Milady jumping R2 than it is to go for the running attack for Peeler. You find this running attack so hard to deal with? It's really not hard, honestly, Mook. You just have to go to the side. Like, you always move, like, you know, if you're fighting it and you're looking this way, like, you go to this side, right? Like, they're attacking you, you know, they're attacking you like that. You move to your left. You always move toward your left and you'll never really get caught by it. We're gonna try the some other weapons too. Also later on, we're gonna try the power stance bandit swords with this, just because I'm curious. Because you know, like some of these setups are very. Okay. This is insane. Alright, he let me fight. I'll let him fight. For the soft swap, Anchor, and Lance. A fan favorite. I think there's a lot of lag between the two. Kill him! Kill him! Oh my god, bro. Insane fight. Oh my god. It was worth staying to watch that. Oh boy. Yeah, that was counter damage Lion Claw. The host just ate it. The comeback of the century? I know, right? But, you know, like, just going back into that last invasion, the first Phantom that we killed, I mean, I'm sure you guys noticed, but he did not have the poise to tank the running attack. Like, if you don't have the poise to tank this running attack, it is so GG. Even if, like, this guy had a proper build HP-wise, right? Like, he had this physic active, and he had the right, like, you know, the right physic effects. It did not matter one single bit. Like, we broke his tier and then some with the first running. And then 2 running, and it was all his health. And, you know, the reason why that is mainly because he could not even roll the first part of the Twin Blade running attack. He did not have the poise. Like, if you don't have the poise, you are so done. So done. It's similar to how we killed that dragon earlier. We had this one dragon player. Like, that guy just folded in an instant. This weapon folds people that don't have poise. It says over here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Got my physics. Alright. You will need that little bit of defense, my friend. And he does not have poise either. He has light roll though, so... Oof. I mean, it's just light roll stalling the fight there. We're not able to get a clean hit because of the light roll. Also, I could have played more patient, I think. We probably could have killed him without taking any damage, but... Against these players, I usually play impatient. I just want to kill them quickly. If only you could put seppuku on a dagger, dude. I wanted so badly to use that. You know that Fire Knight dagger. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that hits twice with the R2, like the one that had the R3 R2, R3 dagger R2. That one would have been so nice with a bleed infusion and seppuku. I would have loved to try that. Yeah, the Fire Knight short sword. There you go. Could you imagine that with seppuku? I mean, you can do it if you tumble buff it. But... like, just putting seppuku on it would have been really interesting to see the damage. Let's fight in a better spot. We're gonna rebuff as well. We're gonna rebuff and... also, we're missing some damage because I didn't put back this tally. Down. The blue's not there. Let's kill it. Alright, let's go kill the host now. You know what? Insane fight. Best stock? Unironically, the S stock does more damage than Clean Rot on this build by a significant amount. That Peeler R2, I never really used it, like the neutral R2. It might be decent for some stuff. I need to try it. That was without the buff, by the way. Oh my fucking god, bro. Nice pillar? Yeah, I'd never noticed it before. Guess it's useful. We could do even more damage, honestly. If we put the running attack tally, we would do even more. One thing that I could do, I could have my offhand be the poison hand. It's only one unit. And if I happen to use my meat dumplings, at least I'll boost myself a little bit. I think I'll just keep that. Later armor should boost running attack. Yeah, technically, if we wanted to push this damage even further, which we can actually try. I mean, it's not a good... I don't think it's a good idea to sacrifice everything for offense, necessarily, but... Like, technically, if we wanted even more damage, right? We would put this. Insane. This fucking game and this jank. Not too sure about this. Got killed. For now, let's go back with this. That almost got me killed. The fact that I had, like, lighter armor. Sacred Bloody Flesh and Exalted Flesh stack. They don't, but they have this bugged interaction where you basically keep the Sacred Bloody Flesh boost, like, effect of boosting your bleed attacks semi-permanently, meaning that every time I get a bleed proc, I'll get a 20-second damage boost from the Sacred Bloody Flesh, and that 20-second boost will happen every time I get a bleed proc. Just like if I was using a second Lords of Blood Exaltation Talisman. And I don't need to reapply it. So like it's a bugged interaction where you get the benefit of the extra bleed damage forever. Like when I say forever, I mean for the full duration of the invasion, but it doesn't last. Like the damage boost does not last forever, but the boosting effect that happens on a bleed proc lasts forever. I don't know if you get what I mean. So it's basically the equivalent of having another permanent Lords of Blood's Exaltation Talisman without any drawback. That's basically what it does. But it's a bugged interaction, and chat basically told me the right order of execution. Apparently you have to eat a Sacred Bloody Flesh, then you have to eat a consumable that removes it, and then you need to have a bleed proc happen. So like it goes like this, you know, I eat the bloody flesh, I eat the exalted flesh, and then for the bleed proc, I just seppuku myself. This guy doesn't know what's coming. Yeah, it's a glitched interaction. By spread crossbow, I don't think I have the weight to use spread crossbow. I would have to change the build to use spread crossbow. Because you have to keep in mind, the part that makes this build so good is the fact that I have 55 dex and 45 arcane. That's a lot of offensive stats. Like 55 dex is enough for a pure dex build, even at 150. You could easily run a pure dex build at 150 running 55 dex. And 45 arcane is the soft cap in order to get as much build up as possible. It's not the soft cap for damage, but it's the soft cap for bleed build up. Or for build-up for Arcane in general. And so we're reaching a breakpoint for dex damage, and we're reaching a breakpoint for bleed build-up. And so the side effect of that is our bleed weapon pretty much does standard damage. Like, it doesn't do insane damage, but it does standard damage. But we have crazy bleed build-up, and we paired that, obviously, with seppuku on top. Which make this absolutely ridiculous. I love how my attack missed because it auto-locked on to the fucking invader as opposed to the host that was right in front of me. So the seppuku proccing makes it last indefinitely for the rest of the invasion? No, it does not. It's just what the side effect of doing that interaction is that it adds a second, like, just look at it this way, it adds a second Lords of Blood Exaltation Talisman to your stack of talismans. So it's as if you had two Lords of Blood Exaltation, meaning that if I bleed proc someone, I get like what? I don't know, it's like 10% bonus damage for Lords of Blood. Well, instead of getting 10%, every time I blood proc, I'll get 20% instead of 10. But that 20% is still gonna last like 20 seconds or whatever. But it's like having a free tally though, so there's no point of not doing that, because even after the sacred bloody flesh wears off, which is like a minute, you still have that second talisman effect. So it's like like you only need to do it once at the start of every invasion, basically, in order to get the bonus. And let's say you were doing some PvE, well, you would need to do it once every time you die. But you would be able to go through the entire game with that effect, for instance. What's the order of consumable? You eat a sacred bloody flesh, then you cancel it with either boiled crab, exalted flesh, or anything that replaces it. Then you need to proc bleed. But I mean, the easiest way to proc bleed is just to seppuku yourself, and then that counts as a bleed proc. So to start an invasion, not only like to start the invasion, you basically start with like 20 seconds of massive buff damage on top of that from that buffing routine, right? Because your buffing routine is gonna go like, you know, physic, sacred bloody flesh, damage, and then seppuku. But that seppuku proc will have proc your white mask, your Lord of Blood exaltation, and your sacred bloody flesh. So you're gonna get like, let's say, a 30% boost like right from the jump start. And that's coupled with the exalted flesh like 7%. So I don't know exactly like the number in PvP, but basically like you get a little head start with your damage that lasts for about 20 seconds, and then you engage the fight, and every time you bleed proc during that fight, which is like, you know, you just need to land one running attack, then your 20-second like restarts, right? So you're basically always on that damage buff because you're always bleed procking, because you bleed proc so fast. The only thing you have to worry about is your seppuku doesn't last forever. It only lasts a minute. So the seppuku is the thing you have to manage. Will you watch Canada play in the World Cup? Nah, dude. I don't even know how Canadian made it there. Like, Canada sucks at soccer. I'd prefer watching the Stanley Cup playoff. How many players in there? There's 2 of them. Like right now, this is the routine. Sacred bloody flesh, exalted flesh, seppuku, then we're in business. After that seppuku, then we go for this guy. Or he just debuffs us, and we start again. Let's go towards some PvE. We can find it. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. And shit player goes down. Insane debuff, by the way. Imagine Canada winning the World Cup. Dude, it's not gonna happen. Like, maybe in people's fantasy land or whatever. This is the shitter from yesterday on Steel Stream? That host, or you mean the build I'm using? Oh yeah, man, so far I'd say like this build, like this stat allocation, oh man, it is so nasty. The only quirk about it is you need your seppuku active. You need your seppuku active at all times. You sort of depend on it. So it's not like this build is like, you know, free damage at all times. You are required to constantly set up. But in an invasion setting, that's not the It's not that hard to do most of the time. Sometimes you just can't though. Sometimes you're getting chased down, you're fighting people that are hyper aggressive. Your environment is closed off, you have nowhere to go, and you have no options. That's possible. So buffing routine, you know, physic, sacred bloody flesh, exalted flesh, seppuku, and we're good. And then Jesus fucking Christ, I'm really dead here. I keep getting stun locked by these stupid, like, massive range attacks. I should have gone to the other side. Because problem with builds like this is when you're fighting bad players like that, you know you can kill them in like 2 hits, right? Like, you know you can kill them in 2 hits, so you get like too greedy and you start to play bad. Like, the play there was to not engage, go on the other side so that you have a place to back off. That's exactly what I meant, right? Like, when I said that sometimes you spawn in places where you have nowhere to go. Well, we have a place to go here, it's just on the other side. But if we don't go on the other side, then we have nowhere to go. So, you know, that loss was basically, like, completely on me for not positioning myself properly. And also, even though both of these players were using quote-unquote melee weapons, it's basically like fighting 2 mages, right? You can't just engage a player while you're getting attacked by a mage. Otherwise, you're always gonna lose. Because the range attacks in this game will always hit you from from afar. And so you can't commit, otherwise you're gonna get punished by the range attacks. And both of them were using range attacks, basically. So it's just my fault, I just played that poorly. But, you know, typical Elden Ring fashion, I kill in 2-shot, but they also kill me in 2-shot. And that's despite me not using anything that debuffs me either. Like, I have the physic that's completely spec for defense. I'm not using Blood Boil this time around. And I'm still taking like 2-shot type damage. And on top of that, I'm using heavy armor. I know we have the white mask, but our defense are above like 30 in all physical attributes. And let's see. Yeah, and our elemental is all above 25. So this is overall very good defense. So, you know, defense is not even a problem here. Alright, so buffing routine, sacred bloody flesh, exalted flesh, seppuku. Oh, I have a friend. The hell? The host in here? He's above. Oh, great fight. It's that host from earlier. We watched that host get deleted by one of the Phantom. This host is not a ganker, he's letting people fight, so I'm not gonna gank him. Bro, that poor host cannot get a kill. Oh, man. Looking into it a little bit, White Mask adds 6%, Exaltation adds 12%, and Bloody Flesh adds 18% for 20 seconds. And... no, Exalted... okay, so I can't basically trust your number, because Exalted Flesh is 7%. Not 15. It's like 7.5, actually. Like, this Exalted Flesh is 7.5. But if the other numbers you're saying are correct, which... I'd be surprised if Bloody Flesh adds 18% in PvP. But if that's true, that is about around 30%. A little bit over that, all things considered. Both are body buff? No. Okay, well, I'm not gonna go over it again, like I explained that earlier. %15% in PvE, not PvP. Pretty sure it's even written on Fextra that it's 7.5 actually. It's actually 15%? No way, dude. I thought for the longest it was 7.5. Although I still don't trust you, I'll wait for Vale to tell me, because chat always tells me some bullshit and gaslight me into thinking something is a wrong number. If Emilia says so, then it's correct. Yeah, but if chat says so, it's not necessarily correct. Alright, buddy. Let's do this. Let's see if I can one-tap you. No, 2-tap. But if I landed the full thing, you would have gotten 1-tap. If that's actually 15% in PvP, then that's really good. 15% is a lot. Yeah, exactly, Kaiser, but no. If they don't fog wall us, you might have a chance to kill them before they get in there. Like right now, we are boosted up. great fight. One running. Yo, look at this shit. It's crazy how the backstabs are so bad in this game. Like, you get perfect pivots, it doesn't even matter. This game introduces backstabs in a way that is so terrible. Like, that angle check really killed any form of fishing. It removes skill out of the game compared to Dark Souls 3. The only thing good about the Elden Ring backstabs is that they sped up the grab a little bit so that you can actually backstab rolls. I think that's a good thing. Do you play double claw grip? It's easier on PS5 controller than Xbox. Yes, that is true that it is easier to claw grip on PS5 controller than Xbox. I play like right now I'm normal gripping, right? If I'm sprinting, I'm claw gripping my right hand. And then I can menu, and then I'm claw gripping my right and my left if I need to swap. And right now I'm still claw gripping my right. So like, I'm claw gripping. I've noticed that normally I play normal grip. And then I switch my hand position like automatically every time I go to sprint. And the reason for it is, like, I still sprint with my thumb on circle, but I press the start button with my index. And so my index can press the R1 and R2. But my index also moves the camera and press start. So my index basically does all the other functions while my thumb sits still on the on the circle button, basically. So my index does everything, and then the thumb just stays there. And that's how I claw grip this. It's not the typical claw grip. The typical claw grip would be to have the thumb on the camera stick, and then have like two of your index and your middle finger like be like above on the controller type deal. That would be like a more typical claw grip. You double claw grip your meat when you're gherkin? Do you claw grip with 2 fingers though? I don't want to know. Where are they? Oh, there they are. They're gonna join us at some point. God damn it, I missed it. It would have been a good pot too. Is there a way for me to reach them from here? No. Okay. I would have to go around the map, I believe. I think they need to go toward me, though. We don't actually need to reach them. Oh, we hit them, but we did not get them off the elevator. I think what we should do is this. And that makes sense. Figure out where the host is. I mean, he should be here, actually. The host is like right over there, I believe. Actually shocked that we're not hitting him. I feel like that's a good shot. Oh, I think I saw him. No way we did not hit that. Where could that host be? Like, he should be there. Maybe if we... Can we hit... Can we hit, like, the bottom of this? Oh, there he is. Whoops. I mean to release. Each golem arrow is minus 30 seconds of farming time. Yeah, probably. Yeah, spread crossbow is an amazing tool. I used to not like that spread crossbow existed, but to be honest, in the context of this game, like, it doesn't even matter all that much. Like, there are things that are fundamentally more busted than spread crossbow. Like, you know, the heal from afar, blind spot, dueling shield, BHS clean rot. Like, these things are more busted than spread crossbow, so... Yeah, that peeler is legit, man. So far, I feel like that peeler is really good. We found another winner. Well, I mean, we found, like, it was already kind of a known quantity that bleed peeler was good. It's just this specific use case, this specific build and stat allocation, it works. Where are they? They're below. They're below, but I don't think... I think they went down the other hole. But that other hole is dangerous. I think for now we should just stay put until we see them. Like, I don't think we're going toward them right now. We're going toward where they're eventually going to be going. Because technically they're going to be coming up from this ledge over there, from this side. Eventually. And so right now, what we can do is wait for them here. They should be showing up at some point. Wait, they are coming. Even got a blue in there. How many players? 3 players. Like, they are on that platform, I believe. Or they're about to go up there. At least we have the PvE to watch our back. And eventually they don't have a choice but to come here, so... I feel like I hear footsteps. There they are. All right. Phantom is to my left. No? Went through apparently. Alright. Do this. Jesus Christ. Careful, there's 3 of them now. No, I'm out of that. That's not the lock-on I wanted. Would have been bad there. There you go. The deletion process. I didn't have my big damage pots to finish the Phantom. Would have loved to when I was here and he was like 1 hit away from dying. I did not have my lightning pots and he was already frosted, so I couldn't kill him with the frost pots. Like that. There you go. Why not dual wield the peeler? Because it's bad. Like, double twin blade is just bad. Like, I've tried it like a few times already, once, not so long ago. And, you know, dual twin blade are just bad. It's not good. There's no reason, really, to use double twin blade. Like, two-handing the twin blade is just way better. There's not one matchup where I'd say like, oh yeah, use, like, you know, use double twin blade instead of one. Kill this guy. Dying, actually. The bear could one-tap us. But we just deleted everyone while they were paying attention to the bear. Yeah, but there's a difference between like subpar setups that are still good and some that are genuinely like really bad. You know, like there's a bad setup that's fun to use or that has like a reason to be used or a circumstance where it makes sense, and then there are setups that are just like not worth it. Like the reason why you'd use double twin blade would be to leverage the jump attack, but that jump attack is just so much worse than so many other options out there. And aside from the jump attack, you have nothing. Like, the moveset is just complete ass, aside from that jump attack. And that jump attack is still ass, it just does a lot of build up or damage, but that's about it. Now let's see here. This, and then this here. GG. Dude, this is crazy, man. They just drop like flies. This is like a delete button. It's like Anakin in a room full of younglings. What a terrible quote. You're gonna cry if you meet gankers with this setup? Yeah, the worst part is, a setup like that is made even stronger if you have multiple people attacking you, because, you know, all their bleed build up, like, stack up together. And, you know, if you're ganking, like, there's no reason why you're not gonna be able to rebuff. Like, you can rebuff infinitely because your friends are gonna protect you. Whereas as the invader, it's not a guarantee. Like, if you're constantly under pressure, your buffs are gonna run out. So, I mean, the reason why I titled it Chinese build was because people in chat, last time we played with this, they basically said that this was basically like a build that they would see like Chinese gankers use on PC. I thought that was funny. But it makes sense, really. Like, it's not very skillful. It does all the work for you. You know, perfect for a ganker. Don't get me wrong, though. It's fun to delete people and it's fun to use, but like, at this point, I just, like, almost separated myself from Elden Ring, and I just don't really care about, like, how the game is, but, I mean, it's just such a meme. What do you think about Nintendoodoo bleed daggers? I actually tried that. I tried to make double dagger work in Invasion, and unironically, it's way easier to make it work in duels than Invasions. In Invasions, it's just really hard to make it work. Good fight. We bled that Phantom very quickly. We did not even have our seppuku buff on. But yeah, in this game, there's many ways to make your weapons do insane damage. This is just one of many ways, but, you know, we did the same sort of setup. You know, you buff a little bit and then you two-tap. With the Black Steel Twin Blade, it was the same idea, you know, like you buff the Black Steel Twin Blade with Sacred Blade, and you couple that with some other Fade buffs, and then the Black Steel Twin Blade basically plays just like this one. I'll say this one is probably better, though. This one's probably better because there's less buffing involved with this one. And the seppuku buff lasts for a significant enough amount of time for it to be worth it. So I think I prefer this one a little bit more. And also, when you bleed proc people, you stun them. And you're constantly, like, buffing yourself by bleeding people over and over. So you're constantly on your bleed buff boost. So that's good. So I like it because of that. But, you know, like, you could technically make this, you know, this Twin Blade on a Dex build. Like, a dedicated Dex build with, like, Crag Blade or Or heck, even Bragger's Roar have some defense on top of it. And just focus on pure damage. You know, like you just rock, like lay the armor, running attack tally, two-handed tally, and you just focus on pure raw damage, and you'll still do like insane damage. Probably not as much as this though. Like again, this setup with the bleed, like, woof. Like we've seen more than just one guy today that just got bled with one running attack for like 1700. Like we've seen more than a few people where you do one running, they eat 1700. With the other Twin Blades versions, you know, you could do like a 1200 with a running attack, but not a 1700. 1700 is crazy. Hi from France. Hi, dude. Hope you're doing well. And also, I've not really, to be honest, like, the reason why I wanted to try these seppuku-based setups in the first place was that I learned a few days ago that the seppuku buff carries over if you swap weapon like that. I knew this was a thing with Chilling Mist, but I thought seppuku didn't work on that. So basically right now you don't see my seppuku buff, right? But it's actually active. I still have my seppuku buff active right now. And I have access to Spin Slash. So other players on their screen, they see my seppuku buff, but I don't. My buff still lasts a minute. But the difference is I have access to a Ash of War. So you can do that. I don't really do it all that much because, quite frankly, I don't really see that much of a reason to use it. I would rather just be able to see my buff and know when it's off so that I can reapply it. But you could realistically use that to your advantage and couple that seppuku buff with an Ash of War that pairs well with it. Like, for instance, Spinning Slash used to pair really well with status because it was a lot of build-up, but FromSoft heavily nerfed the status build-up on Spin Slash. So it's not really a Ash of War that pairs that well for this sort of stuff. You'd probably be better off with a Sword Dance. You know, Sword Dance, I think, still has good status build-up, so technically you could go for, like, you know, running attack into, like, Sword Dance against someone. Maybe that would be worth it. In fact, let's try it. Let's put Sword Lance on this. We're gonna try it. So next invasion, what we're gonna try is, if they don't get one tap, we're gonna try running attack into Sword Dance right away. See if the timing is correct. Storm Stomp, maybe? Yeah, actually, Storm Stomp. Honestly, I think Storm Stomp is even a better idea. Because Storm Stomp, you can combo it into just a normal R1. And it's going to be very reliable and very safe. So that's a very good point. I think Storm Stomp makes a lot of sense for something like this that relies on status. Very good point. How many players? 2 players. They're pretty far. I thought they were much closer than that. Yeah, they are far. Good thing I didn't buff in advance. I was sure they were on that platform for whatever reason. Never underestimate the terrible spawn that you get in this game. Sometimes you spawn, like, the furthest point away from the action as one can possibly spawn you. Look at this. That's crazy that we got spawned all the way back there. It's hard to believe. I assume they must be running in the opposite direction. There's no way. Don't buff until you see the white of their eyes. They don't even look like they're running, like they're standing over there. Alright. Oh, come on. We're gonna rebuff here. Okay, well, that works. He gave up right away. I forgot to try the sword dance. But I assumed that they were ganking. I'm not quite sure if they were, but I assumed they were ganking, so I just like autopiloted the way I approached the invasion. But yeah, technically we could boost that damage even further. We could have like Great Jar replaced for the running attack tally. And we could have the later armor. But we sacrifice poise and defense if we do that. But we get a significant damage boost, I would say. We'll see this shit on Duskblood? Yeah, maybe. I'm very curious to know how, or to see how Duskblood is gonna turn out. I'm very curious. I'm eager to watch Steel play the network test. See what it looks like. Why the poison hand? Because why not? That's really what it was. Because I was rocking just the talisman in the offhand, just to heal myself when needed. But poison hand weighs nothing. And my build is sort of tight on weight, but I can fit the poison hand. So if I ever, you know, if I ever eat raw meat dumpling, at least I'll get a little damage bonus on top. That's the only reason. Or, you know, if someone gets poisoned, or if I get poisoned in one way, shape, or form, at least I'll get a bit of damage out of it. Because it's either that, or I'll just keep the talisman in the offhand. It's more like a there's no downside to having that instead of nothing sort of deal, because it only weighs 1 unit and I can fit it on the build, so that's the only reason. But man, oh man, that Twin Blade's a problem. Also, I think... oh yeah, we need to try Sword Dance for this one. After we try Sword Dance with that Twin Blade, I'm thinking maybe we should try another setup with Seppuku. other than the Twin Blade and Milady, because now we tried the Twin Blade and Milady. I feel like properly, like we have a good idea of what it can do. Perhaps it's time to try another one. I think they're under me. Yeah, looks like they are. How many players in there? Oh, it's only one guy. Okay, well. It's only one guy. We can go down. Usually this spot is for gankers. Alright, let's see here. The range on that. Water is like fucking up with my spacing a little bit. This is a terrible place to duel because you can't like see properly because of the water. Like you can't space properly and you can't jump either. It's a terrible place to duel. Just started Elden Ring and it's not looking good for the many things you'll have to learn for PvP. Well, it's definitely, this game is definitely a big knowledge check when it comes to PvP. I'll definitely give you that. But you don't need to interact with the PvP, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like ultimately, to me, Elden Ring is just a missed opportunity PvP-wise. It could have been so much more than that. Like, From Software really dropped the ball with Elden Ring PvP. Elden Ring PvP had the potential to be everything and then some. And the main problem starts with the structure of the PvP. Like, you're not gonna get people to enjoy the game like with an invasion system that's a 1v3 or 1v2 with no co-invasion, and you're not gonna get people to enjoy dueling if you don't allow for Fight Club. So the problem starts with the player limit. They basically downgrade the game compared to Dark Souls 3. But I'm not gonna get into that again. We always get into that discussion. I'm like a broken record at this point. You guys already know everything that's wrong with the game. We don't need to go over it. That is not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Okay. Running attack into sword dance. God damn it. We got stunned midway through. I'm gonna reapply Seppuku here. Boss should be around here. Oh, there he is. I think I saw him, right? Am I tripping? I think I saw him. Okay, it works. It works, guys. Like, it seems the timing seems appropriate to roll catch. We need to try it again. Like you saw there against that host. One running R2 into sword dance. It seems like it's gonna kill like pretty much everyone. Granted they panic roll, of course, right? Granted they panic roll and they're not like completely countering the bleed with like, you know, spiral horn, heavy armor, you know, bleed resist consumable, all that stuff. But it seems to work. I want to try it again. It's like a drug we keep coming back to. Maybe for you. For me, it's just simply a part-time job, you know, like I wouldn't call like a source of income a drug, you know, I don't play off stream. I don't intend to. I don't feel the need to. So to me, there's no addiction or anything like that regarding this game. It's just keep the channel active, get the revenue for it, and then move on about my day and do what, you know, the other work I need to do. And then in my free time, I just do other things. Or I'll play recently Fatekeeper. Played Fatekeeper off stream recently. I loved it. I beat the early access version of the game. That was just so much fun, and I can't wait until they release more content for it. I really love that Fatekeeper game. I feel like they really hit gold with what they have. Like, coming back to it, I really like it. Okay, let's try against this guy. We're gonna try running attack into sword dance. Let's try again. Alright, let's do this. Alright, buddy. You're gonna be my test dummy. Or you? Will you be my test dummy? Oh my god, so close. I misspaced that. Alright, we're rebuffing. Alright, let's try again. I mean, this guy is just gonna die before we manage to land the thing. We almost had it against the Phantom. It just was slightly not timed properly. I don't know if he actually timed his roll. If we did it too early, if we did it too late. We need to try again. Fatekeeper is that Elder Scrolls-like game. I would not call that an Elder Scrolls-like, because the only reason people compare it to Elder Scrolls is because it's first person. That's really the only... And also the fantasy team, I guess. You just got a lucky panic roll, you think? Yeah, I think so too. We're gonna try again. But yeah, the only thing that's similar with Elder Scrolls and Fatekeeper is the fact that they're both fantasy games in first person. Combat is light years different. You know, one is an RPG, the other one's a linear game. You know, Fatekeeper, there's only like 2 bosses in the game. And quite frankly, the second boss is really bad. The first one is actually pretty nice. But like, just that first boss is better than any Elder Scrolls boss that I can think of. You know, like the Elder Scrolls bosses are just like bigger health bar enemies, really. There's never been like proper boss fights in Elder Scrolls games. And the combat has never been amazing in Elder Scrolls either. I feel like Oblivion combat was more fun because of the spellcrafting. Like there was more of a creative and tactical element to the spellcrafting stuff, but as far as gameplay, like pure gameplay is concerned, I mean, Elder Scrolls has never been a standout gameplay-wise, like combat gameplay-wise. It's like, you know, you shit on a game like, you know, like, you shit on a game like Mortal Shell, because Mortal Shell does not have the same RPG element that an Elder Scrolls has, right? Even though maybe Immortal Shell has slightly better combat than Elder Scrolls. But you don't shit on the Elder Scrolls for the combat, because that's not what the game's about. It's like, you know, you can dislike the combat for the Rockstar games. Like, the combat in every Rockstar game, or the shooting, is always atrocious. But you don't play the Rockstar games for that. Whereas if you play a Souls games or a Souls-like game, you don't play them for the story, or you don't play them for, you know, like the RPG elements necessarily. You play them for the combat. It's because the gameplay elements for Souls-like combat is simply the best out there. Or for Souls combat, not Souls-like. Shouldn't say Souls-like. None of them actually understand what Souls combat even is. RDR2 has some comp scene, apparently. I mean, Dark Souls 3 had some comp scene. Elden Ring has some comp scene. Like, any game can have a competitive scene. Does that make it good? No. Like, the thing with a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 or GTA is that these games are so damn popular and so big that the amount of players that are going to be taking the game seriously is going to be bigger by default, even if the systems are not there to necessarily, like, promote a lot of skills. Unlike, you know, a counterexample to that would have been Armored Core Verdict Day, which was a super niche game with some of the deepest PvP system and deepest combat. Super niche, not that popular, but could have easily been esports and way more competitive than any other From Software game that came out prior or after that. So, you know, being popular and having a lot of players playing it does not necessarily mean that the combat is competitive or prone to being competitive, even if there's a competitive scene. And those are pretty much good examples of that. It's like Elden Ring, really. Like, you know, there is some skills to Elden Ring, even though the game has been, like, toned down a little bit and has a lot of issues. Like, there is still some skill element to the PvP, obviously. But it's not great. It's not great, but there's still a competitive scene because, you know, it's Elden Ring. Like, it's a massively popular game. And there was always a competitive scene for all the other Souls games that came prior to it. So it was not going to change with Elden Ring. Even if the PvP turned out bad or alright or not so great, you know. But to Elden Ring's defense, like, there is a lot of potential underneath all the problems that it has. Like, Souls combat has insane potential, and it could easily be like esports material given proper care and attention to detail. And, you know, by that we mean like a proper, like, balance pass, you know. You know, there needs to be, like, you know, they need to fix, like, obviously all the inconsistencies. You cannot have fights, you know, be dictated around a timer with, like, a timer on a physic, or, like, have buffs dictate the outcome of a fight. Or, like, have it red and blue tier stone, like, in crazy region with cockroach mode, like, and, like, input eating and all that stuff. Like, there's too many inconsistencies that make it so the better player does not always win. And when it comes to competitive games, usually if there's a skill gap between players, the better player should come out on top. And it's still true somewhat in Elden Ring, but not to the largest extent that it could be. Like, the skill gap was way bigger in Dark Souls 3, for instance. Like, you don't, like, for instance, you don't really see that much in this game where, like, you don't see, like, top players host a stream and, like, a fight club and just never lose throughout the whole stream. Like, I'm talking about tournament players. You did see that back in Dark Souls 3. Why was that? It's not because the players were necessarily better. It's just that this game forces a lot of trading because you don't keep priority with a lot of stuff. So you cannot beat people as cleanly as you could. The game just forces exchange of damage. And that is one aspect that prevents a better player from getting the edge in a fight where they played better. That's just one example, though. And again, Dark Souls 3 was not without its flaws either. Dark Souls 3 had plenty of flaws. but it did not have flaws where Elden Ring had. Like Elden Ring has certain flaws that Dark Souls 3 didn't have. Like, you know, keeping priority with weapons, favoring the player who got the first hit is the one that starts aggressing, and the aggression doesn't stop until the other guy escapes, right? Like, if I put you on the defensive, you're gonna be forced to be on the defensive until you properly dodge all my attacks and create some distance. Whereas in this game, that's not the case. You can easily create a bunch of 50-50. Either you jump out of stun, either you attack out of stun. You know, like, there's plenty of things that you can do that just reverses the fight entirely, even though you get outplayed and outspaced in the first place. So these elements prevent Elden Ring from really being competitive. That's one example. All right. Okay, again, we're gonna try the sword dance here. I'm gonna try it against this guy. He's gonna get deleted right away though. God damn it, we don't have time to do it. So unfortunate. I really want to land this, like, full running into sword dance, into explosion. Like, you know, one of the biggest issue Dark Souls 3 had was that the slow weapons were completely useless and the fast weapons were completely broken. Elden Ring actually fixes that for the most part. You know, like, small weapons are not necessarily the best, but they're very good. And slow weapons are not necessarily bad. You know, some of them are good. So the balance between the slower weapons is narrower. Like, it fixes that issue somewhat, but it introduces other issues. You know, by that same fact, they fucked up the hyper armor and made it start too quickly. Made some hyper armors unbreakable. Some small weapons don't break poise when they should. So, you know, it's not like wet and dry. Okay, let's see here. Do we try it against this victim? Plan is we rush him. Running attack. Oh my god, that all comboed, guys. I got one tap. That's crazy. Oh, there was another one. That's actually so unlucky, honestly. There's too much theoretical as to why it's not great. I don't know if I would call it theoretical. Like, it's... You know, if you ask me, like, if you ask me, like, I would bet money on... You know, like... If you fix the problems that I tell you to fix, I would bet money that the games would be better. Like, I'm more than 100% confident about what I'm saying. Like, it's not theoretical. Like, I've experienced this. We've experienced this in previous Souls. Like, we know the effect of an attack having like, we know what the effect of an attack not stunning and the effect of an attack stunning does. We know what it does to small weapons, you know. We know what it does to big weapons. We know what a fast hyper armor startup does to a game, we know what a slow hyper armor startup does. We've experienced like Storm Stomp hyper armor starting at frame 5 when the game was earlier on. Like, we've experienced that. We know exactly what fast hyper armor does. We know why it's a problem. It's not theory. We've experienced it. Like, none of this is theoretical. We know exactly what it does when you speed up hyper armor and when you slow it down. We know exactly what it does. Which is why Storm Stomp right now is so much less of a problem than it was before. Because the startup is much slower. Like, if you've played these games for a long time, you know what a fast attack speed should be. Just on the edge of the reaction time. And you know what a slow weapon should have to compensate for the slow speed. Like, really, guys, like, I know very often people that don't spend that much time with these types of games, they have a hard time understanding why people like myself, like Gabri, like some of these other PvP guys that have been around for a long time, that have won tournaments, that understand these games from top to bottom, they have a hard time accepting and understanding why we understand the games better than From Software in the first place. But it's the reality, though. It's just the reality. At least the PvP side. When it comes to boss combat, that's a little bit of a different story. Let me just heal up here. We're gonna heal using those stairs. Oh my god, we did it. Crazy, dude. They did not expect that. They did not expect that whatsoever. Oh my god, we did it. It worked. Yo, Shells to the end. Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate it, man. Elden Ring is your first Souls PvP experience. Are you doomed to suffer? Yes, you are. You absolutely are. And not necessarily because of the game's problem, but because in order to become proficient at it, there's just a lot of things you need to know about it. Like, it's not even... Like, it's not even so much about skills. Because there is absolutely skills involved in the PvP, don't get me wrong. But before getting into the skills portion of the game, there's a lot of things that you need to know in the first place in order to be able to progress properly. Because if you don't understand, you know, why you lost this or why, like, this player is doing X or Y to you, then you're not going to be able to progress properly. Like, for instance, you know, very simple thing, right? You're fighting against a bleed build like what I'm using. You have no poise. And you're getting destroyed by the setup that I'm using right now. Like, it doesn't actually matter if you're a top player or a bad player. If you don't have poise and you're fighting against a bleed twin blade like that, you're gonna get absolutely destroyed. Like, it is absolutely like a build check. You need the poise to be able to tank the first part of the running attack. Otherwise, you're guaranteed to be fucked no matter how good you are. So stuff like that, you know, like, it doesn't matter if you have skills in this game, you need to know stuff like that. That's just one example. And then there's the part about resisting, you know, being able to resist the bleed. If you cannot resist the bleed, then obviously you have an issue. The deletion process, guys. That's crazy, dude. Like, this is crazy. This is an absolute delete button. Nuts, dude. This is nuts. What do you think about the option of being able to choose an armament weapon art? Good or bad, or it depends? I think it's good overall, but obviously, like, you know, an Ash of War like Bloodhound Step should not be able to be put on everything. Like, it should be, like, some Ashes of War should be reserved to some weapons. There should be more limitation to some specific broken ones. Like, yes, it gives more freedom to the players, but we all know that fast weapons that have very low recovery, and you add BHS on top of that. I mean, I think you could make an argument of, like, changing BHS instead of limiting it to some weapons. I think you could probably make a better argument about that. But if you were to not change any of the Ash of Wars, you'd need to limit them to certain weapons. Let's do this. Oh my god, this is so good though. Dude, this is crazy. You guys saw that? We just one sequence, running attack into sword dance. That's it. That's it. That's all it takes. Crazy, man. And you know, an invasion like the one we just played right there, you know, these are hard invasions when both players are sticking right next to each other. There's not much room for opening. You have no cover. Like, this is a hard invasion technically, but I mean, it's not hard if you can just delete them. Pretty crazy. I was supposed to switch weapon, but I'm really liking the sword dance on the twin blade. Well, honestly, guys, so far we have a winner. Like, this is nuts. Running R2 into sword dance equal GG. No re. You know what? I have not even looked at my AR. Guys, let's actually look at our AR real quick. So our base AR is 520, right? Let's take a look at our buffing routine. We do Sacred Bloody Flesh, Exalted Flesh, and then Seppuku. Let's look at how much our AR jumps. Oh my god, 1029 of pure physical damage. That's crazy. On top of bleeding in like 3 hits. No wonder we do so much damage. Dude, we get 1000 AR physical when we're all buffed up. That's nuts, dude. No wonder this is so strong. It's not even about the bleed. Like, we get 1000 AR. That's crazy. Like, do you guys realize how much damage that is? Like, you can't even reach that under normal means with like a strength or a dex build. And yes, and it still has seppuku on it. It's pure physical and still has seppuku. And still has like insane bleed buildup. Like, look at that. Our bleed buildup is 132 on this plus seppuku. Like, that's crazy. And it not 1000 AR split, like, you know, like not 1000 AR like Black Steel Twin Blade, right? Like, not like the Fate Black Steel Twin Blade that gets 1000 AR. That one is split damage. This one is pure physical. Pure physical. 1k pure physical. Guys, I don't even have that on my crushers. Like, when I use strength with giant crushers, like, they get to like 900, 800. That's crazy, man. It's like a poison buff multi-hit, but bleed focused. Yes, and this is even better than poison buff, not only because bleed does damage, but because you can reapply it every time just by playing. Like, you know, like on a poison build, you get your poison buff when you poison the other player, but then they're poisoned. You're not going to be able to reapply your poison buff because you can't poison them twice unless they heal it. Whereas with the bleed, you know, you bleed them once. Okay, they've been bled. And now you bleed them again. And again and again. And every time you attack, your buff restarts, basically. So that's what's so strong about this compared to poison. It's that your buffs, they get restarted every time you land a bleed. And, you know, because you bleed in like 3 hits, you're constantly on your massive buffs. That's what makes this like so strong. I bet this build would completely destroy PvE as well. Like, I bet this would slap against PvE too. Like, this is basically like a build to kill like anything. Maybe not like tryhards though, because again, like the way you fight this is you need to counter the bleed buildup. Because if you nerf the bleed that this build can apply, then this build is left with like 520 AR instead of 1000, you know? And the way you resist the bleed is, you know, you have Spiral Horn Shield on your back. You have the talisman, the Stalwart Horn Talisman to resist bleed. You know, you have some verdigris type armor to have high robustness. You do these things, and if you feel like countering even more, you get the consumable that adds some robustness resistance. And then, you know, then you're pretty much set so that you won't get bled in like 6 hits, right? And so you can counter this. It's not uncounterable. So a build like that would not necessarily be better at fighting players that are sniping or trying to counter this. But in all other circumstances, if you're fighting players that are not expecting this build, aka, you know, you're not a streamer getting stream sniped, and players are not necessarily expecting that build that you have, then this is going to do a lot of damage, especially in an invasion setting. Invasion setting are very different than dueling setting, because in an invasion you can heal all the mistakes away. And so a weapon that does very well in a 1v1 but that chips, that does like chip damage, is not going to be nearly as good in invasions. In invasions, you're going to want the weapon that's, let's say, not as strong, but that does big burst damage. Because let's run a scenario, right? Like, you're fighting someone with a better weapon than you, small weapon, in a dueling setting. You know, they're going to chip you, chip you, chip you. Then maybe you get lucky, you get your big damage once. They're not dead yet, though. And then they chip you, chip you, chip you, and that's over. Because they have the better weapon. But if you run that in an invasion setting, you know, like, they chip you, chip you, chip you, you heal, They chip you, chip you, chip you, you heal. They chip you, chip you, chip you, you heal again. You got outplayed 3 times now, but technically you're not getting outplayed. It's just you have a massive matchup disadvantage. But then you get your big damage. And now they're low, you know, they're low HP. They're not dead yet. They're low HP, so they're forced to heal, but they can't heal because if they heal, they're gonna get deleted. If they heal, they die, so they can't heal. And so now they get put on the defensive, and if they make another mistake, they're dead. You see the difference? It's like you can heal your mistakes away in an invasion. All that chip damage is not worth much in an invasion if you can't finish off the players. And as the invader, what will happen very often is you'll outplay people over and over and over again, but you're not going to be able to finish them because you're fighting multiple people at a time and they're constantly covering each other. They're always sticking to each other. They have no friendly fire. And so you're here trying to finish them off, but you're constantly getting interrupted. You cannot get 5 hits on the same player in a row. It's just not realistic. And when you do, you need that 6th hit and you can't get that one. You know what I mean? Whereas you run like one of the invasion we won just earlier against like that one guy with the sword lance and the guy with the Rakshasa. You know, these guys putting lots of pressure, sticking to each other. Not much of an opportunity to do a lot of damage, but all we need is one running attack into a sword dance and that's it. That's it, that's game. That's GG. And so it doesn't matter if you got outplayed the whole game before that. Well, outplayed. I mean, I wouldn't call that outplayed when you're fighting against 2 people. Like, you genuinely cannot do much against 2 people most of the time. But you guys know what I mean. And the Strength Arcane also has the White Light swap to punish Bolus. Yeah. The Strength Arcane, which we tried, you know, a few days ago, it has the Meteoric or Ultra Greatsword. That weapon is a lot of fun. It's not the best, but it's a lot of fun. And you can use that Ash very effectively to punish people that are healing, stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest, the Dex version of this build, it's just so much stronger than the Strength version. It's not even close. Like, this is just so strong. Like, this is so deadly. Like, that Twin Blade and the Milady that we tried, like, man, these weapons are, like, are nasty. Like, super nasty. You know, I've been saying for like 30 minutes now that I'm gonna swap weapon, but I still keep on Twin Blade because it's just so much fun to delete people. You know, like, you struggle so hard for so long to win invasions by trying to outplay people, and all of a sudden you get a tool that just, you just hit them twice and that's it. How many players in there? Just 1 player. Oh, it's in the water again. Yeah, I know. It's a bad spot to fight. It favors the worst player in certain spots like that. Like, spots where you're limited in what you can do. Like, when the floor is moving, you can't space properly. And also, this water prevents you from jumping as well, so... There was a spot like that in Dark Souls 3 before the Dragon Rider. Like, there was a spot where the floor was basically like some sort of smoke that's constantly moving. And when you have the ground that's like moving, it fucks up with your spacing. It's like an optical illusion. Oh, that's a different player, I think. Yeah, we're up there. This guy's lucky that you rolled it. Please do that again. Careful about the Ash of War behind us. I don't know which one to prioritize. I think we're gonna rebuff. Questionable. Can't punish him. There you go. We missed the full attack. That's why he survived it. We didn't get the full punish. Yo, average strength enjoyer. How you doing, man? How many players in there? Just one. One sec, guys. Alright guys, my girl texted me and it was important. Oh, this poor fucker. Oops. I did the things in not in the right order. It's alright. Let's just kill him. I didn't like properly buff, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna try a double bleed curve sword, double bleed bandit sword, just to see if it's... Is that the same guy? I think it might be. But it's the same guy. He has the tongue on. All right. We didn't get to use what I wanted. Okay, let's set up the bandit sword so that they're ready for prime time. How heavy are they though? This is 8 units. Bandit swords are a little heavier. But I think we're fine. So here is the deal. I'm gonna remove some seppuku. Probably gonna remove the milady seppuku. We're not gonna use milady today. So technically we're gonna try this. You know, standard attack, but with double seppuku, we're gonna see if we can bleed in a reasonable time span also. I would like to have one of these. With sword dance. Or... yeah, with sword dance, fuck it. Or actually, let's go with Storm Stomp instead. I don't know. Let's go... okay, let's go Storm Stomp. Okay, so the deal is, we double seppuku, which is definitely not as good, like, you know, because that's a lot of time wasted to have to seppuku twice. Because now, like, you can't just, like, seppuku and go into the fight. You have to seppuku, then seppuku again, then you have to heal because you took, like, 2 seppukus. So it's not like you can just, like, seppuku and get in the fight. Now you have to seppuku twice and heal to get in the fight. But we will see. I was curious to try these. We will try them. We got the terrible spawn. Probably gonna get Fogwalled. Good game. That's a lot of buff time? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I don't like it. Definitely not ideal. Actually, one sec, I just thought of something. Oh, insane. Okay. You can probably kill someone in 2 L1s with this, I think. Because like 2 L1 is going to result in a bleed. God damn it, they're inside the boss room. Also, their jumping attack is probably worth using as well. Yeah, they're in the boss room, man. Come on, game. Maybe that jump L1 will have a similar effect as the twin blade, you know, like a 1700 damage. We'll see. Alright, Stone. Have a good one, then. Come on, don't fog wall me. I feel like I'm about to get fog walled again. Okay, they're above. Not too bad. Should be in the corner back there. Probably that statue over there. It's one of them. Well, 1500. Not too bad. Kind of similar to the peeler running. A running attack that does 1500 applies big mental pressure on the opponent. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. The Storm Stomp swap, it would go hard. Yeah, the Storm Stomp swap, like after we do double seppuku, swapping to Storm Stomp after that, I think it makes sense because it gives us a very strong, like, defensive and roll catch option as well. Honestly, we should try Power Stance Naginata as well after this. Like, good old Power Stance Nagi. But it, you know, like, the logic behind, like, the Curve Swords and the Twin Blade is that it does a lot of multi-hits. Like, some of these other setups, they don't multi-hit. Like, the Power Stance Nagi only does, like, 2 hits with the Power Stance. Like, the Curve Sword do 4. That's the big difference. You know?
Hey!
Saint CS. Insane dueling spot. These guys thought they were sniping fucking, you know, off meta double curve sword. I was just waiting to pull out the S stock. S-Stock has a good R2. The reason I'm using S-Stock here is that for this stat spread, S-Stock has way more AR than Kingrot. Look at the AR difference. 446 versus 394. You're talking about a 52 AR difference between the two of them. 52 AR difference. That's because this build is mostly like dex damage, right? That's why. Power stance S-Stock? Ooh, that's interesting. I don't have 3 S-Stock though. Oh yeah, power stance thrusting sword would not be a bad idea to try. S-Stock actually beating Clean Rot on a stat spread? I know, right? Although, Mook, to be fair, I don't know if you make this build with strength, with like 54 strength, if Clean Rot doesn't come out on top though. Because like right now, obviously we have 55 dex, but we could make that same build with 54 strength. And maybe Clean Rot would be better there, you know what I mean? How many players? 2 players. Raptors? The Raptors' claw can't have seppuku. Like, this build really shines because of seppuku. He saved him. Yo, the damage there. Oof. Could have been bad. What the hell was that? That bugged out. Okay, let's try again. Stop it, dude. God damn it, man. We can't test the weapon properly against this poor guy. Another thing I want to try. I know everyone have seen the drunk vid. I didn't see it, but I saw the thumbnail, like about the Great Katana, because everyone has been telling me, oh, try Bleed Great Katana. I want to try 2 bleed great katanas. Like double great katana. That must be pretty strong on something like this. Given that we reach 1000 AR with the peeler, I assume we're gonna be doing like insane damage with double great cat. It's just hard to beat that running R2 damage. It's that running R2 like is good at chasing. It has multi-hits, you know. I thought he was already down. God damn it. We might have to rebuff. Alright, let's do this. Okay, we tried the curved sword. They're definitely not as good. Let's try double great cat. I really want to see double great katana damage. I just need a third great katana. Let's see. Where are the great cats? Oh, there they are. Okay, for the Ash of War, if I don't have seppuku, what do I want? Storm Stomp? Stormcaller? Honestly, I'm gonna just go for... I know it's crazy, but let's go for Endure. I feel like Endure might surprise people. Wild Strikes? Yeah, I just put the first dash on the list just to see the damage earlier. Okay, so here's the deal. We might actually not be able to wield it, though. It's gonna be heavy. Yeah. We're too heavy right now. We are too heavy. What do we do? Oh, but we don't need this? Oh, wow, we're still too heavy. Now, that's weird. We're still too heavy even with that? That's a bit strange. What can I do here? If I do... Oh, fuck me. I think we're a bit too heavy, man. Fuck. Is there a... We do that. I mean, we're still too heavy anyway. Damn, how heavy are we? Like, the hell? I think we're gonna have to pass up on the poise, guys. It's just gonna be like... You know, we're gonna commit Rakshasa Gauntlet, even more damage. Fuck it. Or, actually... You know, we commit fully. It's gonna be this here. What do I want more? I think I want this one. I mean, our damage should go hard. Like, we got bolt multi-hits tally, you know? What's our damage with one-handed? It's 600. Like, our damage is 600, and it has a C in dexterity, which is not bad. So 600 damage each. We can probably reach 1000 AR. Both these things with our buff routine. Let's take a look. Actually, let's see the invasion, and then we're gonna take a look at our AR after. How many players? There's 2 of them. I cannot wait to see my damage, guys. I just can't wait. We can't see our actual AR right now. Okay, the Ender is actually bad on this. It's not that good though. The Ender is actually fucking terrible. Like, this is the bad Ender animation. I never used Ender on Great Cat. This is quite bad. Oh man. I think Storm Stomp would be better here. Like, it takes 2 L1. How about Raptors? Oh, what about the stance though? Dude, this, you know what? The stance Ash of War. I wonder if it bleeds if we use it. Like, I wonder if the motion value are all fucked up like like spin slash, or if they're not. If they're not, that could be crazy. Yeah, that endure is like the endure for the slower weapons. There's two variants. There's a bad one, a slow one, and then a fast one. This was the slow bad one. I didn't know it had it. Sword dance right armor might be decent. Yes. Yes, it would. I'm just trying different things because we tried sword dance a few streams ago for this build on with the strength great sword. That's highly questionable. Okay, well, I got deleted. Oh, they're extremely latent. That's not good damage. And I'm stuck here. Yeah, this is bad, guys. It does not bleed as fast as I want it to. That's not a good setup. It is not good. I mean, we tried it, but it's not good. I think you're better off just two-handing the Great Katana. We tried, though. We tried it. Okay, what else is there? Yeah, single Great Cat is just better. Yep. What else is there? Let's see. What about dual milady? We could try dual milady, I guess. But to be honest, I feel like just one... I like the one milady a little better, but I mean, we can try it. No. Wait. Okay, this one. Okay, let's try this. We fat rolling? Yeah, we are. We're not like this, though, at least. Okay, let's try this. I think the two-handed version will be better, but I mean, we can try this one. I know you guys want me to use that talisman, but we're full on our setup. We can't sneak in any other tally. There's 3 of them. Aw. Guys, Wacky does not have seppuku. Back end Blade don't have seppuku. The whole point of the setup is to use seppuku, guys. Like, you know, like Pada don't have seppuku. Like, everyone's been suggesting stuff that you can't put seppuku on. Like, technically, you want weapons that have innate multi-hit properties that can have seppuku. That's what you want. So if seppuku was not a thing, fist weapons would be amazing. But you can't put seppuku on fists. So far, you know, Twin Blade has been amazing. Milady has been amazing. The double curve sword, it was alright, but definitely inferior to Milady and Peeler. Right now we're trying double Milady. Surprised you can't seppuku on Wacky? I know, right? Like, the amount of Japanese movie where they commit seppuku with that fucking weapon, like that small katana. Like, I feel like that small katana is, like, supposed to be ceremonial to kill yourself or something. It's like... I feel like historically that was its role, like the role for the weapon. Don't do that, by the way, but, you know. I'm not gonna have time to buff up. Oh, I thought he would do something else. That was cued, weirdly enough. Okay. That was just with only one seppuku buff? Alright then. But yeah, guys, the point was that you should be able to use seppuku on a dagger, really. That's kind of the point. Yeah, Chirko, that's what I was under the impression of. Lag there. Insane lag. What the fuck, dude? That was some lag. Yeah, he's gonna die there, though. Nope. Okay, well. I think I didn't buff my two weapons properly, though. Yeah, I think one has seppuku, the other one doesn't. Gonna have to retry this again. It's definitely, like, very inconvenient to have to seppuku both weapons. It's a lot of time spent buffing. Again, guys, I think this, like, if you're gonna use this setup, I think you're better off just using one milady and two-handing it. But just for the sake of experimenting, I want to see with both weapons with seppuku, see what happens. Maybe just offhand and save Manham for functional Act of War. You don't need to. If I seppuku offhand and then I seppuku main hand, I can swap my main hand to sword dance here, and even if you don't see the seppuku on the weapon, the buff is still active. Even if you don't see it, it's a bug. So technically, I still have access to my Ash, and I have seppuku on top of that. So there's no sacrifices to be made there. You don't see the seppuku on your sword, but your opponents will. Your opponents will see the buff. Can't believe that isn't fixed. I mean, it's a From Software game. What do you expect? Yeah, it's only for the same weapon with the same infusion. So, like, you wouldn't be able to do that with, like, an occult like changing a bleed weapon to an occult weapon. Both weapons need to be bleed, or both weapons need to be occult. That's how it functions. There's one guy there. I think it's the guy who debuffed me earlier. Yep. Guy's just running. And he's running so much that our buffs are wearing out. Well, we killed this guy earlier in like a second. He's just stalling. I mean, because he's running too much, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap setup. Oops. I'm gonna use this here. What a game, dude. This guy's net's pretty fucking horrible, too. He's just panic rolling everything. Let's try that again, because he's running too much. Elevation, latency, taking too long to kill him. Now we have a blue to deal with. Should probably focus on this one. And he's light rolling. Just a stall fest, dude. Everyone's just runners. Now we're gonna have to use some PvE because we have 3 people now and we're fighting in the open. Even if they're all bad, like the host is latent. He has like a light roller that just runs away. We're gonna have to take this one slowly. Okay, see where we have PvE. We have PvE here? I don't think so. They're hugging each other. Okay, we have lobster here. Guess there's that. There's another blue though. That's what we have to be careful about. There's a few of them. There he is. We got one of the scrub blue that went back. Perhaps we can kill this guy. He is light rolling and... Oh. It's taking too long to kill them. Bro, they don't even want to hang around him. They need to do that. Fuck out of here. We're over here fucking trying builds and shit, and we have people that just like run away, you know, summon a bunch of people that don't want to fight. I think we're gonna do a last one and then call it for today. Gonna do last invasion with S-Stock. Two players. Didn't expect that follow-up. Oh. He early hit that. I think this host is latent. Well, no surprise there, you know, trusting sword on this setup is good. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it here though. I'm gonna call it here. Thanks everyone for coming by the stream again. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch everyone later. Take care, guys. Marcus, thank you so much for the resub for 74 months, man. Thank you so much for still being here, Marcus. Really appreciate, man. Alright, guys. That's it for today. No more Chinese ganker. Alright, guys. I'll send you over to 222. Let's see. We got all right, we got right on daddy. All right, guys, take care. His voice is actually amazing. All right, guys, have a good one.